When we are looking to reconnect and rebuild the strength of our core, the first place we begin is with our breath. The reason for this is our breathing is very much linked to our deep core canister. Our deep core canister is comprised of 4 muscle groups. Sometimes we could throw in a 5th one, our glutes. But for this video, we're going to say thoracic diaphragm or breathing diaphragm, which sits in the center of the body and separates the upper chest cavity from the lower abdominal cavity. The pelvic floor, which is the bottom of our canister. So thoracic diaphragm, the top of our canister, pelvic floor, the bottom of our canister. The sides of our canister is made up of the transverse abdominis muscle, which starts in the back of the body and then wraps around the sides to the front of the body. Right? And this is what we like to call the soup can muscle. We've got the top, the breathing diaphragm, the bottom, the pelvic floor, your soup can transverse abdominis, and then on the back that helps support the transverse abdominis muscle are the multifidus, and they connect vertebra to vertebra. For this video, we are going to look to reestablish our connection through our breath to our pelvic floor. That's where we're beginning. So you can grab a Pilates ball. If you don't have a Pilates ball, any ball that's blown up around the house works. If you don't have that, a rolled up blanket to sit on will be great. Basically, we want to sit on the ball or the rolled up blanket. So our pelvic floor is making that connection to an object. Right? When we breathe in, we are looking to see if we can feel our pelvic floor release or move or just make contact with the object that we're sitting on. When we breathe out, we want to reestablish that contraction and that lift of the pelvic floor. So when we breathe in, the pelvic floor releases, and when we breathe out, the pelvic floor contracts in and up. Right? It goes up and down, and we need to establish that release just as much as we need to establish that contraction to get the full strength and activation of any muscle group in our body. We need its full length and its full contraction. So again, when you breathe in, the pelvic floor wants to release, and when you breathe out, the pelvic floor wants to contract. It's important to get the pelvic floor connection first as we move on to the transverse, onto the abdominal walls. Right? If we go in and think, I'm just going to get my abs strong, right, we can displace that intra-abdominal pressure and put too much force down on our pelvic floor. And so get this establishment. Even if you don't feel anything right now, the brain is making the connection and the body is looking for that connection.